Ganser, ele é...
Pegar o outro lá.
O Dr. Ganser, ele é formado em bioquímica pela Universidade de Estrasburgo, na Universidade Louis Pasteur, fez seu PhD em Nancy, na França também, na Universidade de Lorraine, onde hoje ele é professor e coordena um grande grupo de avaliação de contaminação ambiental, de poluição ambiental. Ele fez um pós-doc na indústria, na companhia de água, na maior companhia de água da França. Tem também uma experiência na Universidade de Israel, como pós-doc. E atualmente ele é professor da Universidade de Lorraine desde 1999. Diretor assistente do Laboratório de Físico-Química e Microbiologia e coordena hoje uma equipe de 60 pessoas trabalhando na área de segurança e virologia ambiental. Ele é um especialista da Agência Nacional Francesa para Segurança de Alimentos, nos últimos 4 anos, isso. E a maioria dos trabalhos dele também é na área de virologia ambiental. E ele vai nos fazer agora uma fala não só sobre especificamente virologia ambiental, que amanhã vai ter uma conferência que ele vai apresentar para nós durante a manhã, mas ele também vai falar de maneira mais geral, assim como o Zé Paulo nos mostrou esses dados preocupantes em relação ao Brasil, ele vai falar de uma maneira mais geral em relação aos impactos das gastroenterites no mundo. Não é? Ele foi coordenador já de alguns estudos transnacionais na Europa, então é uma pessoa que tem bastante conhecimento para falar sobre esse assunto. Dr. Ganser, you have 40 minutes. Okay.
Thank you, Fernando. What? Okay. Perhaps my talk. I can, first of all, thank you very much to the Brazilian Academy of Science for inviting me. Thank you, Fernando, for invitation at the University Feval, and last week at the Brazilian Congress of Virology in Porto Seguro. So I have next week I will be in Florianopolis giving another talk. So I had some time to enjoy this very beautiful country. Very good science, very nice people, very good food. The only thing it's a little bit disappointed is my Portuguese. So unfortunately I will have to speak in English. Okay. Just before I give the slides, my favorite topic is environmental microbiology, especially viruses in water. I hope we will get some collaboration with University of Feval on this topic. And I will give also a talk tomorrow, so I dissociate the both talk. Today I will more or less discuss about foodborne, waterborne disease in Europe, and perhaps also sometimes in the United States, show you some epidemics, what is the state of the art. And I will speak a lot of about noroviruses. So it will become complementary. Okay? Initiating Windows again. Okay? Fine. Gastroenteritis, yeah. It's a virus on the computer. Not a norovirus. Maybe? Somewhere. Gunzer is this way? So perhaps in our lab we make some basic research on environmental topics, mainly on surface properties of some solids, but also microorganisms to understand the behavior of the microorganisms, but also some applied research about health and environment. And of course, we are dealing with some main topics. We have three main topics, which are environmental viruses, Legionella, and also biofilms, such kind of stuff. Okay, so let's begin. So I already told you that I will discuss about foodborne, waterborne diseases and focus on viruses, but you will understand why I will focus on viruses just a few slides after. So let's get to first thing, what is the situation in Europe and perhaps in the United States? We are discussing about 300 million inhabitants in one case, 500 million inhabitants in the other case. And I will discuss a lot about outbreaks. And the outbreaks is at least two cases of similar cases, exposure, setting, or food, including, of course, in this case, water. Okay. So to do this, you need, first of all, surveillance tools, reporting all the outbreaks and centralization of that. United States did it a long time ago, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC in Atlanta, Georgia. They have a new surveillance system now until 2009 called National Outbreak Reporting System, which is mainly focused on acute gastroenteritis. So we have a report of all the acute gastroenteritis in the United States, including all etiology. In Europe, you see it's not so far away. We have the European Center for Disease Prevention and Control, ECDC, which we stay in Stockholm since 2005. And also the European Food Safety Authority, which is in Parma and since 2002. So these both agencies make surveillance report until 2007. So it's 5 years ago, and I will show you some of the data they collect. So, in the United States, you already told us, acute gastroenteritis, very frequent. 179 million per year in the United States, defined by or diarrhea or vomiting. Norovirus is very important, 21 million acute gastroenteritis. So the new surveillance is based on internet system, and all health departments give information about acute gastroenteritis in this system. And therefore, we can extract foodborne and waterborne and analyze the data. This was realized by Hall in 2013. I'll show you perhaps few data about this. What is the main data we can say? This is the table who summarized all etiology for foodborne and waterborne disease. The main information we can get from this table is that norovirus is the leading cause of acute gastroenteritis outbreaks in the United States, but also the leading cause of hospitalization and deaths caused by food and waterborne. You can see here details. For norovirus, single agent, you have 1,300 confirmed outbreaks. Some are suspected. A total of near than 2,000 outbreaks in 2009 to 2010. Also, 70,000 people were infected, 1,000 were hospitalized, and 125 deaths from this agent. Then you can see other agent. Salmonella is the second one. Shigella, Shiga toxin producing E. coli, Campylobacter, Cryptosporidium, Clostridium, Bacillus, Staphylococcus aureus, Giardia, and rotavirus came also here. But here we focused on foodborne and waterborne disease. Okay, what about Europe? In Europe, let's say that we have another system. It means that we collect all foodborne and waterborne outbreaks. It's not only acute gastroenteritis. It's all disease, especially including also hepatitis, for hepatitis A virus. So, but we have also, of course, acute gastroenteritis included. So a lot of them are still unknown. This is because of detection of microorganisms in the patient and in the food or water. Come back to this point a little bit later and perhaps also tomorrow. So we have the first is Salmonella. Is the first foodborne disease. Bacteria, viruses come in the second position. If we get a mean from 2008 to 2011, here, bacteria, toxin, Campylobacter, and the other agents are, let's say, here. So in 2011, we had more than 5,000 outbreaks, 70,000, near 70,000 cases, 7,000 hospitalizations, near 100 deaths, and only 11 to 15 outbreaks linked to water. But I will come to this point later. Okay, so now, norovirus are very important in foodborne, waterborne disease. So some information, we already get some. Noroviruses are also called cruise ship viruses because the location of a lot of outbreaks on ships. And also winter vomiting disease, meaning that we observe them mainly in winter and we have symptoms mainly vomiting. So norovirus, very quickly, because Jose spoke about it just before, is a very simple organisms, as we have a proteic capsid, one main protein, 20 to 30 nanometers size. This is very important because we have very small particles without any metabolic, so it's very difficult to inactivate them. Inside we have a single strain RNA and with different region, but I will not go to the details, we already said it before. So the first isolation of norovirus was in 1972 in an outbreak in Norwalk. It was a school, and the first one was called Norwalk virus. Since then, we get a lot of different kind of noroviruses. Then we put Caliciviridae family, norovirus genus, and 5 genogroup, 1 to 5. But the main one was 1, 2, perhaps sometimes 4. Genogroup 2 is sometimes very close for swine, but there's not yet proof to transmission between swine and human, but sequences are very close. Pathology is incubation, 24 hours, symptoms, mainly vomiting and diarrhea. You can have also abdominal pains, cramps, nausea, fever in some case. This is why we can focus on such kind of symptoms.